Alright, now we're back. We have this pretty well. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the back area here. We have to make this a little more distinct. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to these corners and we're just going to undercut a little further underneath to make those, like he's sitting down in these boots, a little bit more. Okay. Just like so. Perfect. Alright. So the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to mark off where we're going to round off this boot a little bit more. Alright. What we're going to do is we're going to do another little triangular cut right here. We're going to go in kind of deep. And we're going to cut that out. That's a continuation of how he's sitting. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing up here. We're going to just kind of round that up a little bit. Okay. And we're going to separate. Okay, that's the way it should look. Alright. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to just round this off a little bit here. I'll keep looking at it. Okay, and right here is kind of where the belt's going to go. So that has to be kind of indentation, like part of his back. So what we're going to do is we're going to sweep up and sweep down. You're gonna have to kind of take your time with this because you're going to go against the grain, and you don't want to go all the way because you don't want to snap it off, and just go the other way. And then I turn around and I come the other way until you smooth that all out, that you don't see any difference with that. So right from where the armpit is, you want to go out and under. I got to be careful there. I'm just already snapping that off. I see that. Alright, just like so. Alright, and then you want to go underneath the arm a little bit further again, going up into the body. Alright. And sometimes if you wet this, it works better. Let me do that now for a second. Let me just spray it a couple of times because I want it to... I'm going to let that soak for a second. That way, see how it's just coming off like butter? I'm able to go against the grain a little bit without having a lot of pieces of wood shredding off. So this is kind of what we're doing here. See how this is going up and around? And that's that's kind of what we're working towards. All right. And his backside, you're beginning to see his butt come out a little bit there, which is good. And again, we're going to go underneath here. We're going to cut into the body a little bit because that's a little, the arms need to be sticking out just a tad more. Alright. Okay. See how he looks. Let me do this back here for just a second to give me just a little bit of a chance to clean it up a little bit and have it look half decent here. Okay, you see how he is? He's it's coming along pretty good. Again, we're going to pull this right out here. We're going to kind of, and see, I use that slicing motion. That helps it to get stuff out. You know, and sometimes just slicing it sometimes gives you a clean cut. It's very hard to do that when you're going in two different directions. You know, a gouge can come in kind of handy for something like this too. But I'm strictly, I'm pretty well a knife person when it comes to trying to carve something here. I'm usually a person that will use a knife over a gouge any day. Okay, so that gives you the form. See how we have, see the background. See how we have a little bit of a dip there for his back. That's kind of what we wanted. And then his coat will come up like so, like it's tucked underneath him there. Alright, and that's kind of where we're at with that. Again, you can round this up a little bit more if you want. I always find that if you take a little bit more off, you know, try to keep it from looking really blocky, people won't know it's out of a block. You know, people will look at this and say, well, that's not out of a block. Yeah, it is. If you look at it, it's pretty square. But, you know, if you make the cuts deep enough, you can have the illusion that it's not. Alright? So, okay, what we're going to do here quickly is we're going to bring this down around here. See how far I went with that. I didn't go that far. Sometimes I have to see what I did before to, you know, I do this stuff out of my head and trying to teach it. Sometimes I know what I want to do. A lot of times I don't know how to explain it to you folks. Okay, so I'm just going to round this up. Alright, and when we come back, we'll finish up with his hands and his coat and stuff. So we'll be back in a little bit.